What's going on, guys? I have a review for you today of the NEEWER CM28. These are wireless microphones. I always call these lav mics, but they're not really lav mics. Lavalier microphones. They are just like a wireless Bluetooth microphone. So in the set, you will have two microphones and then one receiver, which is plugged into my MacBook Pro right now. These are fantastic budget options for anyone that doesn't want to spend premium on, let's say, DJI or Rode. I'm not super familiar with the DJIs, a little bit. I'm more familiar with the Rodes because we use them at my last job. And I wanted a microphone solution that could, give me like a wireless option, especially when doing interviews. It's just so much better than plugging in one of these long, like, things, even though like these work great, but wireless is just so much better. It's just anything wireless, I'm down for it. So anyway, these come with two adapters inside of it. One is for older, like, lightning adapter, and the newer is the USB-C, because I knew that iPhones now use USB-C. So you can plug these pretty much to anything that has a lightning adapter or a USB-C adapter on it. Right now I have it on my 2019 MacBook Pro. It works just fine. It plugs in just fine. You can leave it plugged in. It even has a port on the other side, so you can kind of like charge it while you're using it and stuff like that. And then when you turn it off on the MacBook will charge the receiver. This is a great value budget option microphone for anybody that's looking to get honestly professional level audio. And I know people can be like, well, that's not really professional. Okay, yeah, we can go down the road of audio, or we can go down the road of, like, for what you pay for, this has very good audio on it. It's loaded with features. I can't even go through all of them, read the list of everything, but the ones that really stand out to me personally is the first big one is noise canceling. The noise canceling is absolutely fantastic. Right now, I'm about 2 feet away from my MacBook Pro, and I have noise canceling on because my MacBook Pro gets very loud when I'm running a program like OBS, off my R6 Mark II, and you can hear it on the audio mic, and you wouldn't think you can, but you can. So I'm going to go ahead and show you right now how much noise it's blocking out with the noise isolation feature, noise canceling. So right now it's on, and that's with it off. So you can see it's picking up a lot of feedback from my MacBook Pro, and that's like the hum of a fan on a computer. So if you're ever in a place where we turn it, so that's with it on, off, on. I mean, that's the biggest feature that I love about these microphones. If I'm ever recording and I've done interviews in, like, outside in, like, warehouses and stuff like that, there's a huge, like, industrial fan going off in the background, you're definitely going to pick it up. So this saves you a lot of time from having to go into audio editing and taking out background noise and stuff like that. So it's a great little thing to have, and a wonderful feature with this product. And other things that it can do, the big thing is this charging case is super convenient. So this is pretty much like an earbud charging case. They pop in there just fine, very easily. I'm not going to throw one in there right now because it will turn on the microphone, and then we'll have two microphones coming in. But they pop in there, they charge. It's got little spots to hold your little extra adapters and stuff like that. So I would say overall, it works fantastic. Especially for the small form factor of it. You get those in a jacket. I throw it in my camera bag all the time. And this is like a one and done audio solution. I plug this up to my whatever, my Canon R6 Mark II, and then I plug in my studio headphones, and I've got like a quick audio setup. So these are fantastic for anyone looking for very clear, fantastic audio quality on the fly. They also did come with little mini dead cats that go in there. And if you know what a dead cat is, it's like a wind block that attaches to this. I don't really use those that much because I'm not filming typically outside, like in the wind and stuff like that. But I have used it as like a test to see what it would sound like. It works fantastic. It works just great. And the great thing about this microphone as well, it also has built-in memory. So you can record not only onto your camera or, whatever device you're using, the actual file, but you can also record backup audio. So if anything gets corrupted, you have that backup audio, or you could even just use it as a recorder and just record into it without having it connected to anything. I've also used these as like podcast mics. They work fantastic. A little bit of like audio editing is necessary, but these work fantastic as a podcast mic as well. And like another hack with these, because they do have on the back here, you can see it has a magnetic. So this is to kind of hide the mic under a shirt, like here. So you can see that the mic's not really visible versus like having it clipped out here where everyone can see it, even though I think that's the look now on social media is like, have your mic out in the open. But if I had to film someone on like a campaign, I don't want like a giant mic on their shirt or something. But the back part is magnetic. So if you have, I've used this as a boom mic. So basically I get a boom pole. It's made out of metal. And this thing will stick onto there. And if you can't get the stick onto yours, you can also clip it, find a way to clip this onto your boom pole. And you can hold it over, honestly, 3 people. And you get very good audio quality out of 3 people, having this microphone float over 3 people. Which just, like, I learned that hack from a buddy of mine who has DJIs. And I was like, that's really awesome. That you can get this is like a boom mic as well. You can use this as a boom mic. I thought that was really cool. But overall, you're not going to beat this in price and quality. I know they make a lot of like clones, and I went with NEEWER because I've used their lights, their flashes and all that stuff, light stands and stuff. And NEEWER is a great company. I buy from them directly and they have great customer service. Whereas if you buy like a no-name brand, who knows what the customer service is going to be like. NEEWER's been around for quite a long time now as a photographer. I've been a photographer about 9 years now, and I've used a lot of their products. So this is like a trusted company. You're going to get good customer service from them. But overall, I really think this is a great microphone for anyone looking to record anything from video interviews to podcasts, to even using as a boom mic, as I mentioned earlier, like sticking onto a boom pole and hovering it over like 3 people. It works fantastic. Obviously, the audio quality's not going to be like anything for you like audiophiles out there, but it really works very well for professional grade, in my opinion, professional grade audio. I've used it on like doing interviews and stuff on campaign trails and stuff like that, and it's worked fantastic. So I have nothing bad to say about this microphone, and overall I think it's an amazing buy, and you won't be disappointed with the NEEWER CM28 microphone. So go ahead and check them out. And you can also get them like a lot cheaper now. When these first came out, they were like $130, and they've dropped in price a lot. So that makes them a lot more worth the money. So I definitely highly recommend getting these microphones, guys. You will not be disappointed. So anyway, take care. Have a good one. Hope this video helped you make an informed decision. Have a great day.
This is the NEEWER CM28 wireless microphone kit. It comes in this charging case, and it has battery indicators up at the front, as you can see. I'm also recording internally on the transmitter so that you can hear what this sounds like. I'm also recording and wearing a Rode Wireless Pro microphone so you can compare it to that to hear how this sounds stacked up against the Rode. This charging case also has built-in UV lights at the top, and they are positioned directly over the wireless transmitter microphone. So when you close it, it actually activates the UV lights, which are on inside right now. How do we know that it's UV and that it's actually working? Well, I have this UV test card. So what I'm going to do is just stick this test area. So this bottom area is white right now, but when I stick it inside here, I'm just going to close it like that. You can sort of see a bluish glow of light there. So I'm just exposing it to the UV card for a few seconds. Once I remove it, you can see that this UV test card turned purple in the area that was exposed to the UV light. So that's how you know that it's UV and that the light is working, because it's on inside the case right now. Other than that, you get these adapters. So this one is USB-C to Lightning, and what you use this for is the receiver. So the receiver has a USB-C port on the bottom. You just plug that in like so. And then the idea is you could plug this lightning end directly into your iPhone or your iPad. Now, if you don't want to use the USB-C digital output that's included with that adapter, you could use the built-in 3.5mm jack that's found on this side. So you plug that into your camera using the included TRS 3.5mm cable, or again, you could use USB-C out. On the bottom, you can see the charging contacts that connect to the case. On this side, you see a headphone output that you can use to monitor the audio levels, the power button there, and then a dB level selection there for the output level to your camera. And then you've got the display on the actual receiver unit. And despite what the marketing material says, the receiver does not record. The recording actually happens inside the transmitters, which is what you want, because if the wireless signal drops out, the receiver won't actually get the audio, so it's better to record in the transmitter. So once this is done, I just plug in the transmitter using USB-C into my laptop to copy off the 16-bit 48 kilohertz wave files that are uncompressed, and then I can sync that up with my video, and that's how you're hearing it now. If we take a look at the transmitter a little bit more closely, it has a built-in microphone, but you also have the option to plug in a 3.5mm lavalier microphone. Now there are two indicators on the front here. The blue is power, and it shows that it's linked to the receiver. If I tap the yellow button once, you can see that the blue light turns on. If I tap it again, that turns off. That's the noise reduction. Let me turn on the noise reduction now on my transmitter that I'm wearing. And you can see that it's flashing blue. It was flashing red. Flashing red, you just hold down that yellow button, and then it flashes red. That indicates that it is recording internally inside the transmitter. The transmitter has 4 gigabytes of onboard memory that you can access by plugging in this device through USB-C to your computer. That's long enough to record about 9 hours of uncompressed wave file. So it's 16-bit, 48 kilohertz. So that's recording, and then if I tap it again, notice how it's flashing, which flashing means recording. The blue indicator means that noise reduction is on. So you just hold it until the red stops flashing, and now it stopped recording. So again, charging points there, and it has this built-in clip that you could use to clip onto clothing. It also has an included magnet, and that magnet you can use to attach to clothing as well, but that is the transmitter, and you get 2 of them. These store neatly into this charging case, and you can charge it using a USB-C connection in the back, and that charges all 3 devices, which is nice. This is a pretty good value. I think that what's missing here is 24-bit recording, because 16-bit may not be high enough resolution compared to some of the other microphones that are out on the market today, like the Rode Wireless Go, or even the Rode Wireless Pro, which features 32-bit float recording. And float, 32-bit float, is interesting because that means that you don't really have to worry about setting your audio levels and gain if you're going to edit in post, because you can readjust the gain and not worry about distortion. Now, that's one thing that's sort of lacking on this NEEWER microphone, is that there's no way to set the gain on the actual microphone. So if you have a really loud sound source, somebody who yells or just talks a lot, yells unexpectedly, the microphone can distort, and your recordings can distort. So you got to watch out for that. So the other minor thing that I wish that this kit included was a USB-C to USB-C cable for connecting to your laptop to copy the WAV file recordings off of the transmitters. Now, I also wish that there was a little bit more storage on the transmitters, because it's only got enough time for about 9 hours worth of recording. The Rode Wireless Pro, for example, has, I believe, 40 hours of onboard recording time. So if you accidentally turn on this transmitter for the NEEWER, it could overwrite itself. So you got to make sure you transfer your files off of the transmitter if you need them. That's the NEEWER CM28.
And here we have it. Oh, Generally, they put a little plastic here to avoid the thing to be charged, but looks like it's not, but it's fully charged. And the biggest advantage of this unit here is the recording feature. It's the recording feature. So now you can record in the microphone. So you don't have to rely on your receiver anymore. If there's some sort of an interference or anything like this that happens a lot, you are recording inside. Another fantastic feature is that you can add a lavalier microphone here and just work this as a regular pack. They do last a while. I haven't tested for more than a couple hours, but they said it lasts. I'll put it on my written review because I can remember. But sound quality is really good. And let me show you the dead cat here, or the wing muff. Right, there you have it. It's a little tricky to put it in, but there you have it. Then you have your dead cat. That you do not need to use this unless you are in a windy situation. A lot of people like to walk around with this thing like this. It's not necessary. It's actually degrades the sound a little bit. So only if you are in a windy situation, you need to put in a dead cat. Other than that, working with just the bare microphone is perfect. So to record, you obviously turn it on. On, and to record you press the set button for 2 seconds. There you go. Now it's recording inside the microphone, and you just press once to stop recording. Now it's I think it's on pause, and if you press it again, I'm not sure what blue is. Now it's turned off. So this cable here, which is an audio to USB-C, is because you have to use the audio out of the receiver to your phone, or use the same cable but for Lightning. So you have either USB-C or Lightning, so you can get the audio from the receiver into your phone. You can download the complete user manual from our official website, NEEWER. For further information, please feel free to contact us. Viene en la caja. Se abre aquí, magnético. Y viene aquí dentro. Los micrófonos, ahora os lo enseño. Viene esta bolsita. Dentro de esta bolsita pues vienen algunas cosas, como son, vienen dos cables. Este es el cable que va a la cámara. Vienen los dos rompevientos y viene para cargarlo. Viene aquí, en esto. La verdad que va muy bien. Ahora estos son los micros. Los abres y automáticamente se encienden. En el momento en el que lo sacas, esta es la parte que va a la cámara o al teléfono. Tiene aquí su clip. Este clip es adaptable a cualquier tipo de cámara. Lo que no es adaptable a las cámaras es el clip de aquí. Es un clip como más pequeño. Tiene aquí un imán, por si lo quieres poner. Viene con un imán, se lo puedes quitar. Y yo lo pongo aquí dentro. Aquí tienes el adaptador para USB-C. Va aquí. Y acá viene el adaptador para iPhone. Entonces básicamente lo que haces es conectarlo aquí así, aquí, y luego esta parte de aquí al iPhone. Y ya está. Queda bien puesto. Yo es que no lo he puesto ahora. Cuando solo es sacarlo, no hay que hacer nada, solo sacarlos y ya se conecta. Y aquí puedes observar lo que es la batería de los micrófonos y del receptor. Y luego aquí, si yo me acerco, pueden ver la intensidad del sonido. Si dejo uno y solo me acerco uno, pues solamente verán la intensidad de uno. O sea, va bastante bien, se escucha bastante bien. Luego, cuando ya terminas de utilizarlo, yo lo que hago es directamente guardarlo. 1, 2 y observen como aquí 3 se apagan porque se ponen aquí parpadeando. Y ya ahora, si se dan cuenta, tiene aquí unos pines en el que ahora directamente los cierro y ya se apaga. Se carga por aquí por USB-C y ya está, cabe en la palma de mi mano, me los puedo llevar donde quiera. NEEWER CM28, y si los abro, aquí verán cómo se enciende. Es muy sencillo de utilizar y es muy práctico. Lo recomiendo bastante. Yo, al menos yo, siempre lo llevo en la caja completa, donde tengo también la bolsa por cualquier cosa, y la batería dura muchísimo. Dura muchísimo. Yo lo tengo así, porque es una caja pequeña también, no me incomoda para protegerlos bien. Así que los recomiendo.
Hola, esta es una review de los micrófonos NEEWER CM28. Me llegaron el día de ayer. Estoy probando la calidad del sonido. No lo estoy escuchando, es la primera vez que los pruebo. Vi muchas reviews de este micrófono en YouTube, lo cual me hizo convencer para adquirirlo. Lo compré por Amazon. Entonces en ese momento lo estoy probando en mi mano, direccionándolo hacia mi boca. Y lo tengo con el Dead Cat y sin la cancelación de ruido. Vamos a ver cómo se escucha si lo pongo en esta parte de la camiseta. Originalmente yo lo uso por detrás de la camiseta, pero por practicidad lo uso por fuera. Esperemos que se escuche bien. Recordemos que aún no tenemos activada la cancelación de ruido. Entonces, y de hecho está haciendo ruido en la afuera. Listo, me lo voy a despegar. No, le voy a quitar primero el Dead Cat. A ver cómo se escucha. Miren, se lo quité. Quiero saber cómo se escucha. Cuando edite el video me daré cuenta si en realidad pues tiene buena calidad. Yo lo vi en muchas reviews, esperemos que no sea falso. Y voy a activar la cancelación de ruido, que es este botoncito. Que tenga las dos luces quiere decir que tienen la cancelación de ruido activada. Haremos un momentico de silencio. Sin la cancelación se escucha de esta manera. Con la cancelación se escucha de esta manera. Tengo entendido que la cancelación es útil cuando no hay mucho ruido ambiente y puede ayudar a centralizar y mejorar un poquitico más el tono de la voz y aislándolo más del ambiente. Si son grabados en exteriores, ya la cosa puede cambiar. Porque lo que hace cuando estás grabando en exteriores y por ejemplo pasan muchos carros o hay mucho ruido y tú estás hablando, pues lo que va a pasar es que la voz se va a escuchar bastante coca, se va a escuchar bastante distorsionada y pues realmente la cancelación se va a escuchar de una manera pues, se va a escuchar muy feo. Bueno, esta es su cajita, la cajita recargable es pesadita, viene con dos de estos y los adaptadores Lightning que está acá y tipo C. La cajita es totalmente recargable.
I've got a new microphone that I want to check out, and it's wireless. So right now it's transmitting back to an audio receiver I have just behind the camera, and we're going to go check the mail. I got this one from Amazon, and I'm curious to see how the reception is with how far away I move. It says it has 1,000 feet line of sight. Now with my back turned, we'll get to see how well it's actually picking up, and facing the other way with the microphone towards, and also under my shirt here. All right, I'm just about to the mailbox now. I'm going to take a look inside. I placed an order for something that I've been hoping will show up. I built a Lego tractor not too long ago, and my son kind of lost one of the pieces. So I contacted them in hopes they would send out replacements, and it looks like they did. But unfortunately, it's not here yet. Now I'm walking back to the camera. Once I get back, I'm going to disconnect everything, take the memory card out of the audio recording device, plug it into the computer, and give a listen to how the audio sounds. I'm curious to see how loud that mail truck is in the background of the audio with the wind protector and the shirt being on top of the microphone. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Here's the microphone here. It's pretty small, and it includes a magnet that was actually the only thing holding it onto my shirt. It does have a clip-on as well, but that magnet's helpful if you're trying to hide it. Let's go ahead and listen to the audio and see how it sounds. Right, so I just got the opportunity to listen to it, and honestly, I think it sounds pretty great. It started to cut out at a bit of distance with my back turned, but that's still not line of sight, so I'm not going to really hold that against them. I think overall it looks like it's a pretty good unit for the price and makes it pretty easy to go ahead and record things, given that I already did have this audio recording device. You still could hook it into a phone, but I don't need to do that. It'll take a bit more testing to see how I truly feel about it, but initial reaction is pretty positive. I think it's well worth the money.
These are the NEEWER microphones. Just a quick little product review. Those are the instructions, the manual. And here they are. You are listening to the sound of what these microphones produce. Over here is a bag of cords. Nice. Some USBs. Some different kinds to make sure it fits whatever Android, iPhone you might have. And then those are for the voice softeners. Here are the lapels. Again, these are the ends for, it looks like an older iPhone model. And this is for, I believe they call it a C port, the newer iPhone 15, which is what I have. This is the receiver. It goes into the receiver like so. You will put that in the bottom of the phone. These are the two lapels. And they have magnets on the back so you can discreetly wear them. These are really great microphones, very easy to use, simple to put together, put in the phone, and like I said, you're hearing the quality right now. So I'm super pleased. I'd recommend them. Check them out. Oh, by the way, that's the port in the back to charge this. This is a charging port. So, cool product.
All right, I am doing a review of the CM28 by NEEWER. It is a Bluetooth microphone that can connect to your 3.5 millimeter jack. It can connect via USB-C, and it can connect via Apple, via the Apple Lightning port. So it's got all three of those types of connections for your different devices, whether it's an Apple camera, a USB-C Android, or a computer. So this is what it sounds like, and this is what it sounds like. So here is the NEEWER. It's a CM28 professional wireless lavalier microphone, and it's compatible. And the nice thing about this camera is that it does have the ability to have recording on the device itself. So you can actually record just by itself without any use of a connection. So it acts like a standalone recorder as well. The life of it, the battery life is really long. I've never had to recharge it on any recording. It claims to have 8 hours of recording on the transmission. And here's what it sounds like. This is the sound. I did put the windscreen on. It doesn't make a difference when you're indoors with the windscreen on or off. I just kept it on so you can see the windscreen. But how does that compare to a actual microphone? So let me switch over to the Shure MV7 microphone, and let's see what it sounds like with that microphone. So this is the Shure MV7 microphone that I'm recording from, and you tell me the difference, the Shure MV7 microphone or the CM28 microphone. You be the judge. Which sounds better, the CM28 or the Shure MV7? This is the Shure MV7 microphone. Tell me which sounds better.
Okay, alright, when plugged into the charger, it doesn't, usually blink to show it's charging. It only just has the one light on. It never charges. Also, you can see, even though they're on the charger, the charging box is charged up, or charging up, supposedly, but it's not charging. If you look, you'll see on the receiver, nothing is charging. So it doesn't charge the devices anymore, and the box won't charge up at all. And also the receiver, Uh, it'll turn itself on and off, even though I've charged it up from the side port. It'll still turn itself on and off with a full battery. So I don't know what that's about. But once again, it's not charging any of the devices. It shuts off, shuts it on, but it doesn't charge them. And I've tried different cords. You notice neither one of the mics on there are charging. So I don't know what's going on, but this thing is practically brand new.
All right, I've talked about it enough. I've talked about it on social media. I've told my friends about it. The new king of the castle when it comes to bargain wireless lavs is this. It's the NEEWER CM28. This bad boy comes in a great little charging case. It's very, we've seen this before. It charges via USB-C. It comes with adapters in the case so you can run it to your mobile device, whether that be your iPhone or your Android or now also iPhone. It's got a pretty unique feature. If you can see in the top here, it's got UV lights in the top of the case, so it sanitizes the microphones. That's really cool. Like, we should have been doing that for a while now. The microphone itself is pretty basic. There's not much to it. It's very simple to operate. It's plug and play. I don't really have any complaints. The noise reduction is on now. It works well. So hopefully you can't hear my lights doing their like fan thing. It's got built-in recording. It's literally a one-stop shop, and the price is phenomenal. This is definitely the new king of bargain mics. Anyway, let me know what you think. I highly recommend it. It's the one I've been reaching for when I just want something quick and easy. This is my go-to.
Okay, this is day one of if you got something to sell or promote and need somebody to do it for you, I can do it for you. So let me know.